What's going on today, YouTube? Matt with ASL Dumpsters here in Aurora, Colorado, and I am at my storage lot right here. And what we're going to be going over today is a review, kind of an overview of my roll-off trailer I got from ProTainer. So here it is behind me. This is the gooseneck setup. As you can see, it is the 14-foot version, twin axle. They make longer ones with triple axle of your carrying capacities, and you can, obviously carry larger cans. For what I'm doing right now, the 14-footer works for me. I can carry up to a 20-yard can, which is 6 feet tall. And so yeah, let's go over kind of just the physical layout of this. So it is the gooseneck, like I said. This unit is adjustable, so basically you back off those nuts while it's still attached to the truck, lower down the tongue jack on the trailer, and you can adjust this up and down depending on your ride height. Right now I've got this, so my truck is a 2022 Chevy 2500. There's a small lift on it with 37, so I'm sitting up a little taller, and so I've got this sitting pretty low. When I first had this, it was probably 4 to 5 inches taller than it is now. So I might raise it up just a little bit, even as it sits, with my truck being as tall as it is, but we're sitting good right now. Yeah, I mean, safety chains, breakaway, all that stuff, pretty standard back here. Big thick I-beams coming across, all this fully welded on. Coming down here to the heart of this trailer is the 9 horsepower Kohler motor, and 9.5 horsepower, excuse me, Kohler Command Pro. I'm using this every day, so sorry it's dirty, but 9.5 horsepower Kohler Command Pro. Been super reliable so far. Here's your choke, here's your fuel valve, your air filter, holds a couple gallons of gas. You're supposed to run 91 in it, which I do. And so yeah, I mean, there's the heartbeat. And then coming around to the other side, that motor runs the hydraulic pump over here. All of these are the automated actuators, which play off of your controller here, which I'll show you here in a little bit. You have a pressure gauge for your hydraulic pressure. I would say, and down here, this is the actuator for your tarp system. So I have the automated lowering and raising tarp, but this is a manual tarp itself. The tarp, I don't have the big arms that swing back across. One thing I do want to note on this system that I don't like, and it may not be an issue with the system, it could have just been that it was overfilled, but down in here, near this tank down below in here, is where your hydraulic fluid sits. So the pump draws from down here. I've had an issue where the trailer will be set at an angle, whether it's a weird driveway, street, whatever it is, and the motor will be running, the pump will be turning, I'll be up at operating pressure, and if I move the trailer forward or backwards and try and get it in position or something while that's going, I've had it overflow out of the cap here. So that has been an issue. I've had 2 cleanups. I mean, nothing major. It's hydraulic fluid. It's not like oil. It doesn't really stain that bad. You can wash it away pretty easy, but still, it's not a good look in front of your customers. Down below over here, so this is your tongue jack basically here. It's hydraulic. Sets that foot down there. That's how you raise and lower it. Coming up here to the tarp itself. Again, this is manual, so you undo your rope and throw it towards the back and pull it back manually. I prefer that. It's less moving parts and pieces to break. I just don't like the way they look on the big trucks. I think it looks bad. And they always have to be adjusted or replaced. Why did you go with ProTainer instead of Nedlands? And to be honest with you, at the time of purchase, it was because they had a shorter lead time, which ended up not coming to fruition because of parts and pieces and hydraulic pumps and stuff like that they're waiting from other suppliers. So in the end, it didn't really matter. But I will say, from what I know of Nedland's products, this is a very similar product in terms of build quality, steel thickness, in terms of the frame and strength. These guys have been doing it longer than Nedland's has. In my experience so far, this is a really well-built piece. So I think between the two, if you're interested in a trailer-style roll-off system like this, Nedland and ProTainer are kind of the top two, in my opinion. I know Texas Pride makes a reeving one now and stuff like that, but I will caution anybody on that who wants to buy a dedicated roll-off trailer system from a company that primarily makes trailers, not roll-offs or dumpsters. You know, ProTainer and Nedland specifically make waste handling equipment. That's what they specialize in. So just keep that in mind if you guys are looking and you're in the market. So let's get back to the trailer. I'm doing this without a can on it because one, they're all out on rent, which is great, but two, so you guys can see the trailer itself. A dumpster is a dumpster. Here are your two rams. These are 3-inch rams for your cable system. So it is a reeving style system. It has the two blocks down here. As that block moves that way, it pulls that cable up through here, through the pulleys, and tightens the cable. As the ram moves in, it allows the cable to go out. And it's super, super, super strong that way. I have pulled a 20-yard can full of landscaping, rock, and dirt without an issue. The trailer itself had no issue. The lifting rams, these are larger 4-inch, or no, I think these are 3-inch too. Lifting rams, one on each side. And if you're looking at this, you might wonder, wow, that is kind of a flat push, you know, against your hinge over there. But actually it's not, because the way this frame is built, on this frame where the dumpster sits, if you come back here, your hinge point is below the actual trailer frame. Your hinge point is down there. So when that ram is pushing, it's actually pushing above your hinge point, which causes that to go up and gives it more strength. So I've never had an issue dumping any load with any of my dumpsters so far this year. Super strong. Again, one on each side. And one thing to note on these, when you're in lowering mode to tip it back down for transport, there is a restrictor in the pump itself that will not allow the trailer and the dumpster to basically fall and crash down. So just as a note, when you guys are operating this system, when it's coming down, this system, the motor and the pump itself will almost sound like it's being choked out, but it's just going through a restricted orifice so that it doesn't come crashing down under the weight. Okay, moving on to the fenders. These are super thick, fully welded, fully walkable fenders. You can walk all over them. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can kind of tell from this angle they do have a slight crease just to keep that rigidity. They are welded here on the inside with gussets, and then they're attached and screwed in down here directly to the frame. This trailer, the way I ordered it, this is a 16K trailer. So by the rule, if my truck were to be over 12,000 GVWR, I would be over in combined weight of 26,000 pounds, and I would require a CDL. So what I did is, these are still 8K axles each, which makes the trailer 16K total. But on paperwork, they are allowed to derate a trailer. This is a 14K trailer going by the paperwork. But in reality, these are 8K axles, which is great because it's overbuilt, right? So you want something to be stronger than you're going to use it for, and avoid having any braking issues. Tire wise, this comes from the factory with G-rated tires. So these are super, super strong, 110 PSI 4-ply tires. You should have zero, other than, you know, punctures here and there, you should have zero issues with these. These will last a ton of miles, and they can carry a lot of weight. So G-rated tires is a huge plus, and another reason to go with a ProTainer or Nedland system, because, you know, a company that's going to also be building regular dump trailers and transport trailers may not give you, you know, 8K axles with G-rated tires like that. So moving on, you can see the back of the fender there, same as the front, bolted in. All LED lights, all the marker lights here, brake lights, turn signals, all that, all LED. Back here, you know, you have your pitch here, so when you're unloading, loading, or dumping, you're not dragging, which, I mean, every once in a while you still will, especially when you're dumping a heavy load. But all your rollers, everything is fully greasable. Have a built-in catch for the end of your rope, and your hinge point for the tip and back is lower than the frame, so you can get that, you know, 50-degree pitch if you need it, and get dump out quicker, just better operation overall. License plate holder with built-in light. I still got to get mine in the mail, waiting on that. But that's kind of the physical overview. You have another marker light there for your fender. I'll kind of give a quick operation overview, show you guys how that works. Make sure your gas is on, turn the choke on a little bit. Okay. I'll take the controller off so you guys can see it. You're going to turn the controller on until the two red lights come on, or the red and green light. And once that green light is flashing, you have positive connection with your solenoids that control your hydraulics. Throttle up. And I'll show you the button corresponding with the operation that it goes with. So to tip up, you're going to hold top left, and she's going to start to tip back. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, how those lifting pistons, your pivot point down below the frame. So that makes this lifting action super, super strong. So we're lifting, all right, cool, it dumped. We're gonna lower it back down. So that's just what I'm talking about when you're lowering down. Can you guys hear how it's almost like it's getting choked out, but it's not. It's because the hydraulic fluid is going through that orifice, that smaller orifice, and it's just being restricted, just so the weight doesn't fall down. Picking up or putting down a dumpster with your cable is going to be these two buttons. So standing at the trailer, I typically always stand on the driver's side. This button pulls the cable in, this button pushes it out. So I'm going to push it out, and you guys can see how those rams come in, and it's going through these pulley systems and coming up through the main pulley and loosening that rope so you can get it attached. Now when you're coming in, you hit this one towards the front of the trailer, which makes sense, right? And those will extend out and pull that cable tight. Now always kind of check the tension, because you don't want too much, but you don't want it flopping around either and causing damage while you're driving. So those are your two main operations: lifting, lowering, and then cable in and out. And then when you're here like me, I'm dropping this off for storage. I've got a pickup on Sunday, but not right now, so I will be taking it off my truck. So what I'm going to do is I always put a chalk underneath the foot, because the shoe that they have on this tongue jack is just not the biggest footprint. So if you look down in here, I always put a chalk under there just to give it a bigger footprint. You know, I am out here on loose dirt, so when it rains, I don't want it sinking through and getting it hard to pull out. Let's take it off here. Okay, so we are loose on everything. The gooseneck, this is in its open position so we can lift it off. All the chains, Whoa, I just went through puberty, holy shit. Chains, your breakaway cable, and your pin plug-in is all done. So I will show you on the controller. This third row of buttons is what you're going to use. This one is to lower it, and again, that ram down there is that tongue jack. So we're going to hit that. And you'll see this lift up, just like that. And we're done. Simple operation once you get the hang of it. I'm going to throttle the motor down and turn it off. Now, if I were to be transporting this, I would be turning the fuel valve off. So that way fuel doesn't flood the motor and you can't start it. But since it's just in storage, I'm just going to leave it there. We'll close the stainless steel cover, or aluminum cover, excuse me. And that's how she's going to sit. We'll show you, and then what I do at the end of every, you guys can see the green light still flashing. Just turn it off, save your battery. This is USB chargeable, so you don't have to change batteries. I'm going to pull out and then show you the gooseneck lock that I use. It's a Fort Knox lock, and it's a big bitch. So that's what she looks like all by itself. This bad mamma jamma right here. So, Fort Knox locks. I ordered this on Amazon. You know, it can fit a variety of gooseneck hitches, but this one fits perfect. Pull this out. That's it. We're done. If you guys are in the industry or you're looking to get into it and you are curious about trailer style roll-off systems, you know, ProTainer makes a good product. Nedlands makes a good product as well. There's other smaller ones out there, but I just would caution you guys on ordering anything from like MaxD, Texas Pride, stuff like that, that come from a manufacturer that primarily makes, you know, trailers, dump trailers, car transport trailers, stuff like that. They're just doing the dumpster thing as like a side thing because, for one, they're just not as well built. They don't use thick enough material. They don't build them as sturdy. And number two, your dumpsters are pretty much always going to be a proprietary size in terms of rail width. And what I mean by that is ProTainer and Nedlands use standard width rails. And what that allows you to do is when you expand your fleet or your inventory, say you buy a roll-off truck down the road, you can use your existing inventory, your existing dumpsters on that truck. You don't have to have anything rebuilt or buy new inventory and lose your ass all over again buying new shit because it's not compatible. So keep that in mind if you're getting into the business, because remember, this is a volume business. You need cans, not 2-3 cans. You need, you know, to make real money in this business, honestly, you need 10 or more. You know, preferably 20 or more. So just keep that in mind. These trailers from Nedlands or ProTainer like mine allows you to expand your inventory, you know, or get a different transport style, whether it's a truck or whatever, without buying new inventory or having to modify what you bought previously. Hope you guys liked the video. That's it for me today. Any of my content you enjoy or has brought some insight to something you're curious about, I would appreciate if you guys subscribe. We have hit 500 subscribers, so thank you everybody that's done that. Super big step for us here on the channel. I know I don't put out as many videos as everybody else does, but I'm trying. I do it when I can, and when I do it, I try and make a purpose to it. So hopefully you guys found this insightful today. Like, subscribe, comment, share. There, I said it. Peace.